Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here, and welcome to Mornings with 60 and Me. Today is Sunday, it's July the 24th. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a great Saturday and that your Sunday's off to a great start. I always love Sundays. I just find them the day in the week where I can just kind of relax a little bit and reflect on the week behind and ahead and just kind of get things into perspective. So that's what we hope to do here every morning on Mornings with 60 and Me. Give you some news from around the world, some fun stories to uplift you, and to get your feedback, to mostly get a conversation going between us as a community. So feel free to make comments about anything that we discussed today, and leave your questions in the section below so we can have a conversation. Grab a cup of tea and have a chat. So my tea this morning, is Prince of Wales, and it's actually a Twinings tea that was designed specifically for the Prince of Wales in 1921, who turned into the King Edward I always forget the 8th. King Edward the 8th. Anyway, it's a special tea. Do you like my mug, by the way? I really love this. I bought it on the weekend we have a little kind of a recycling place here that also has a shop, and you can buy things for this is like a franc, like $1. But anyway, my tea is great. Prince of Wales is a kind of nice strong tea, and it comes from China, and it's from the mountainous areas of China where the mist, sort of makes the leaves just perfect. Anyway, tea is an amazing thing that's been drunk for thousands of years, and here we are having tea together in 2016. So hope that you're having your cup of tea or coffee, and let's get on with the news. So first thing, it always starts with news that's kind of dramatic, but these are important stories, and I want you to know about them. So there's been an attack in Kabul in Afghanistan, and it was a suicide bombing. ISIS has claimed responsibility, and lots of people, it was about 80 people were killed, 200 were injured. It's just really, really tragic. These people were having a peaceful protest. It's just a local village area where they wanted electricity lines to be brought through their village. So it was a peaceful demonstration, and there was this terrible attack. Afghanistan has been in a difficult state for many, many years, and now they're fighting both the Taliban and ISIS. And, I keep asking myself why, and the only thing I can see is that they're just trying to cause disruption and cause civil war, and I think that people are going to be strong to get through this. And we've seen it in other situations where people do manage to rise above these very hateful crimes. So it just seems so unreal to me sometimes to be reading these news stories. But in Afghanistan is really important, of course, for the world and for the United States, who has an investment there. So that's Afghanistan, and I wish all the families and people affected, obviously, our deepest condolences. It's just awful. But the other thing that's happening in that part in Asia is China is having incredible challenges with flooding. There's been a lot of rain, and so far tens of thousands of people have been evacuated, and it's a loss of life, 150 plus people, and just scores of people without homes. So China is battling the rain. And, Mother Nature is just going to do its thing. It's really a fragile world that we live in, and China is fighting right now, against the forces of rain and water. And then in California, we've got wildfires, wildfires, and it's in the northern part of California, north of California. And the article I read said that it's in the Big Sur area, and this is so tragic because Big Sur is an amazingly beautiful part of the California coastline. I've been there several times. I just love it, and it's just a shame that we're having challenges with fires and floods. And Mother Nature, as I said before, is going to be running the show here, and we have to live in harmony and in balance, with nature. So I do hope that things calm down there as well. Just a quick update on the situation in Munich. Of course, it's a very sad weekend because of the tragedy in Munich on Friday. They obviously have discovered that it was not a terrorist act, or this is what they're saying right now. You never know with these stories, but it was not a terrorist act. It was just the actions of a very unsettled person, a mentally unstable individual, 18 years old. Most of the people that he killed were also teenagers, and it makes it all the more tragic that these lives have been taken away. And you know what? The other angle to this story that is so sad for me is that it was a global situation. I mean, there were people from Turkey, from Kosovo, from Greece. It was not just German people who were injured and killed. And these kinds of tragedies these days always seem to have a global element to them. So we can't turn away from them and say that they didn't happen. It didn't happen to us. We're all kind of joined together now in this global community, and these kinds of tragedies affect us all. So it is very, very sad. On a more positive note, and for those of you who have been watching Mornings with 60 and Me, you know that I have a huge passion for sustainability and projects that are trying to do innovative things with fuel. And Solar Impulse 2 is a solar plane that's been going around the world for the past year. 1 year ago it started in Abu Dhabi. It's gone all around the world without a drop of fuel. It's had delays because of weather. It's had, you know, lots of challenges. They've got like 2 pilots are alternating these long journeys between stops. But now they're in Cairo. They've been there for a few days, and they're on their way to Abu Dhabi to complete the trip. 1 year later, 48 hours it's going to take them to get from Cairo to Abu Dhabi, and then I bet there'll be a big celebration. I mean, it's really amazing that they've managed to accomplish this in a year. It's taken time, of course, but it shows it can be done, and I think that's fantastic. So another journey is the Tour de France. I don't know how many of you are into bikes. I used to ride when I was younger, but I don't ride bikes anymore. But I love watching them. It's such a incredibly strenuous and disciplined sport. But the final leg was yesterday. Well, the penultimate leg was yesterday, and it was actually won by a Spanish rider, Joan Izagirre, and he was so sweet that he did such a good job in the really amazing mountainous section. It was in the Alps, raining, steep mountains, very hard, and he won that leg. But overall, there's a British cyclist named, what's his name? Chris Froome, who is got all the points and he's on target to win today on the last leg in France. You know, you say these things, but then who knows what's going to happen. But Chris Froome is on his way to be victorious, and it's kind of a dramatic ending. They end up in Paris. They drive down the Champs-Élysées, which is the main big street in Paris, to the L'Arc de Triomphe, and it happens at sunset. It's all timed for beautiful drama. But yeah, I wish all the riders do well, and we'll see how it all turns out. But that's the Tour de France, which is a big sporting activity this weekend. And finally, I've got a really, it's a feel good, but it's kind of a feel weird story. Because, okay, don't we all, women over 60, don't we all want to be invisible? I'm just kidding. Of course we don't. We are visible. But for years and years, people have been trying to create and invent an invisibility cloak. Harry Potter did it, and there have been all kinds of science fiction movies where people invent ways to be invisible. And this group in England has just released an article. It's in the it's in a very reputable scientific report magazine. I forget which one, but I'll leave the URL for you. But they've come up with some very interesting ideas about how to. Of course, they're not making things invisible, but they're doing it with lights and I guess it's magic. Let's just say it's magic. But they are doing it for real and trying to find ways to take a flat surface and make it appear invisible. So it's kind of interesting that these things are happening in our lifetime. As women over 60, we've seen a lot of discovery and innovation, and a lot of it in the last 20 years. So I think in the next 20, we're going to see some amazing things. And I'm excited to be alive. I don't know about you. I just think it's a great time to be on the planet. So I would love to just remind you one more time that it's important that if you want to get these news stories first, you go to 60andme.com/mornings. And then you'll be able to just go any time of the day and get the news stories first. We do it every day and welcome you here to join us. Thanks for being here. I do have a question for you because I think it's always kind of fun to just give you something extra to talk about in the comment section below. And it occurred to me that being invisible could actually be kind of fun. And my question for you is, where would you go or what would you do if you could be invisible for one day? I'm really looking forward to your answers to that question. Just where would you go or what would you do if you could be invisible for one day? I'd love to join the conversation with you and just want to say have a great day, have a wonderful Sunday, and we'll see you again tomorrow here on Mornings with 60 and Me. Thanks everyone. Take care.